And we're throwing the debt service on top of it, though.
It's still the $5 a month, so.
I'm wondering, I'll clarify, I thought when we started this, at the top was gonna be that we set the deal at 7.77, and then we went to 7.5, and then we discussed, and then there was voted on, by the way.
He says it wasn't voted on.
It wasn't voted on.
Wait. It came up in a workshop, there were 4 of us here. We took basically a straw poll that night to decide whether we would tell Marvin to put together a 75 or a 73, and of who was here, it was 2 to 1 of the council telling Marvin to proceed with 73.
And I did. You got
And you got the 75 too in there, but that's where that came from. We sat here in that
Yeah,
workshop.
but it wouldn't, my point is, one, that we didn't vote on it. It was just a straw poll, we talked about it.
It wasn't a formal vote, no.
Right. But it was, at that time, I thought we were dropping it from 77, and then we looked at either, the option was either 0.775 or 73. We discussed it. I think we all came to the conclusion of 7.73 after the lengthy discussion, and now it's, 7.5. What the, I mean,
There's an error in the calculation, as I understand that. There's an error in the calculation.
Okay.
Well, there's an error in the water fund calculation of $100,000. So when we moved that over, we could take it away from the tax, and that dropped the voter approval rate down to 75. It was 77. And it dropped it down to 75. I asked the city attorney, what do I do in that case? And she said, you publish it at the voter approval rate, because that's what they were after, was the voter approval rate. It was not 77, it was 75. So that's why it is posted that way. You can go down from that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if the council so chooses.
well, again, I'll reiterate, and that from what and correct me if I'm wrong, from the revenue that we made last year to what's projected this year is $1,245,000 more than what we had last year. Is that right?
1 million? Oh, I got 384,000. Oh, guess I know what you're saying.
When you took the number that you projected, the revenue that we had budgeted for last year versus what you thought we'd get in for this new budget, the difference of about 1.3 million increase in revenue.
Well, if I laid that impression, I'm sorry, because it's only 384,000 difference. That's because of the debt stuff taken off. You take the 402,000 out of the 3.3 million that's in there, it'll come out to 2.9 million. Then last year's was 2.75. When you subtract those from each other, that is actually what your maintenance and operational difference is. You're adding about 100 and something thousand to the budget for maintenance and operations. Your debt tax is just paying the debt. I mean, it's not really giving you anything. So we're having to turn around and move that money to pay the debt. So it really, as far as maintenance and operations, we're going to have about 2.9 million counting everything. Well, if I said it any other way, I'll apologize.
Okay. Well, maybe I misunderstood you at the last meeting, because that's the number I wrote down, but let's see if I can find it right quick. Y'all go ahead.
One thing also, just to keep in mind on the $5 a month for the average homeowner that it would cost them, you know, the difference over the years is that now we've got the over 65 cap or whatever. So our elderly don't see that increase the way they did in the old days.
I know, but we're younger now than we were. Because our average age is 35 now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
When that was really a problem 10 years ago, we were higher age. We're not talking about that 10 years ago, this is killing us, and then in the last census, we went down to 35.
but it's just a vulnerable population is being protected to that mechanism from increases. I mean, you still worry about, you know, the single mom and, you know, Folks that are just barely getting by.
And this tax stuff is all stuff we're gonna get into again
Next week.
Yeah, right, so I think the takeaway from tonight, I'm sorry. So I think the takeaway from tonight is, it sounds like everybody is in agreement with this budget. There may be some discussion next week with the tax rate being at 73 or 75, but what I'm hearing tonight is everybody up here is on board and supportive of what city manager's doing for the employees of this town.
Motion?
We're in the public hearing right now.
I'm in agreement with it, if Marvin thinks that we've got the necessary funds and reserve to take care of any unbudgeted items that are gonna come up, and who knows what that's gonna be between, October 1 and next September.
Yeah, you can't predict emergencies.
But that's true, and it can go the opposite direction, that's right.
But to answer your question, Dan, the real answer beyond our ability to affect tax rates is that the 1.7 that Craig talked to us about. I mean, that's where you have to go to the markets, and you gotta have money, and you're dictating what the markets can provide you at that point. Because that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to the market for that particular thing, but we might have to go to the market again.
Well, I know, that's
And then
what
if you go to the market, you still gotta make those payments.
Right.
So if we're
And you're
short
paying-
now, we're gonna be even shorter.
Right.
And then the demand is gonna be next
Right.
year, because all these other cities that we've done these surveys on, they're gonna go up too, I'm sure, because they're looking to improve their, salaries for their employees, which I'm hoping we can do that as well. I just wanna make sure that we've got the necessary funds to take care of not just that, but everything else that the city has to do. We already talked about that one unmandated, who, Lord knows what's coming next. And then we got the legislature meeting next year, so we don't know what's coming out of that. That's gonna hit us.
One thing that distinguishes Riveralta has since the 50s is that we've been fully developed. Most cities are growing, and that makes all the difference in the world, because there's new revenues coming in, there's new taxpayers, there's new sales tax, there's new businesses, and it covers a lot of stuff. And when you're just having to redevelop yourself, and there's not expanded base, it makes it tough.
Is there any further discussion during this, or any further comments during this public hearing?
I'd like to say one thing, since we got so many employees here. You're our cheerleaders. You're the ones that's gonna make the citizens happy, but just as important, if you got friends, you know somebody else works for another city, say, hey, I know you're not happy where you are, I know we may not pay as much, but this is a better place to work. You can go home happy every night. You know, like where I work, we like to call it the fun factory. Sometimes it's not so fun. Most of the time it is. So, y'all are our cheerleaders, especially you. You need to get some more people. But, I mean, that's what we gotta have, guys, and we're stepping up, and we need y'all. We need y'all to reach out to other people that are working in other cities that might not be happy with their leadership. I think you see, we're up here, we're behind y'all. We support our police, we support our fire, we support our public works, so help us out too.
Yeah, something else I would like to encourage y'all to do is the 4-day week, or the 4.5-day week is coming up that you asked for, and this is our trial period, but we need this to work. I mean, I'm cheerleading y'all in that particular endeavor. But you have to be strategic, and you have to work the plan. It's not gonna save us, because that will just be icing on the cake with